What's going on to all my intellectual savages out there? I'm Marcus, and you're at the channel, The Debt-Free Dad. As always, we're going to talk a little bit about money, financing, budgeting, and where everything at. So today is going to be the mid-month check-in for the month of May. I did fall off a little last month because I didn't really do a mid-month closeout. I really didn't do an end-of-the-month closeout for last month. Things went relatively well with no hiccups. This month we got a lot going on, so I wanted to dive into it so we can talk about it, and it's just going to be a conversation. I promise I will do an end of the month closeout where I talk more specifically about the numbers, but the numbers are going to be a little crazy, and I'm probably going to have to do a budget breakdown video next month because the numbers are going to be completely different than they were when I started out the year, probably moving forward next month. Now, as always, if you're interested in following my debt-free journey and learning about finance, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell that's down below on one of these sides so this video can reach more people. Now, church announcements, I really don't got no church announcements. I will tell you all that, Tuesday and Friday are the drop dates, but I have fell off. I normally like to put something out Sunday, just something random, but I fell off. I took off the past few weeks on Sunday because I just been chilling and relaxing and getting my headspace right. But I'll get back on it, and the wifey and I'll probably get back to doing Sunday videos this upcoming Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Hey, disclaimer before we dive into things, I'm an attorney, I'm a licensed attorney, I'm not your attorney. If you're looking for legal advice or finance advice, I advise you to seek a professional in your local geographical region. Don't just listen to a random guy on YouTube. I don't care if he shows you his degrees and all that stuff. Do your own independent research and always seek a professional. Now, let's talk about one. I fell off last month and didn't do a closeout, but this month we got a lot going on. It's just a lot going on. I'm not going to break down the numbers till I do the end of the month closeout because I'm going to be honest, it's just so much going on. I really have to see how the numbers play out. We had tax returns come in. We had thousands of dollars in vehicle repair that I took care of. We getting ready to sell a rental property. It's just so much going on. We're going to dive in it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how it's going to impact the budget moving forward. Let's go ahead and dive into the mid-month check-in so we can see how this budget thing is turning out. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into everything that's been going on this month. Remember, no number breakdown, but I promise, do a May budget closeout at the end of this month where I recalculate the numbers. So, first thing first, let's start the week off with a weekly quote. This is a famous one that everyone should know because this is just how finances and budget and life plays out in general. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Good old Iron Mike Tyson, and that definitely holds true. You always got something planned until something pops up to change course or shock you, and we just gotta adjust. If we get knocked down, we gotta get back up. So that's the quote we're gonna start out with. The first thing that went down this month with regard to the budget is, hey, we definitely finally got our tax refund back, and so that was a big deal because I think, as I told a lot of you, I did a video, I'll put a link to it above, where I actually owed the IRS once, and trust me, you don't want to owe the IRS. The only people that's probably worse than actually owing the IRS is probably owing like the mob or somebody who'll break your knees. But yeah, got our tax refund back because I don't want to owe them anymore, so I always single zero overpaid, but finally got our tax return back, and of course we had plans for that money. So I'll tell you, I'll talk about the amounts in a later video, but I'll tell you a few things that we did do with that money. Of course, I'll tell you, I did take $500, and off the jump, I invested additional $500 in cryptocurrency because, as you all can see, the market is trash right now thanks to Elon, but that's a great opportunity to buy. So I dove in and picked up some Cardano, a little bit of Ethereum, and yeah, just bought the things that I like because they were on sale. So that's number one. The next thing that I did is I paid $4,200 for auto repair. Now, let me explain a little bit about this auto repair. This is an auto repair that husbands will really get. Ladies, wives, y'all might get it. Y'all probably going to get it, but this is a repair that I thought was essential that you all probably wouldn't think is essential. So a month ago, a month or two ago, I sold my truck, so we only have two vehicles, and so my wife's BMW, the in-screen monitor wasn't working. Now everything else with the vehicle is running fine, but that in-screen monitor wasn't working. So initially, I'm always trying to figure out how to do things on my own. I actually ordered a used monitor to put in there off of eBay, but the problem is when you put that monitor in there, it requires a lot of computer reprogramming that's way above my skill set. And it's not mechanical, it's electronical. So it was above my mechanic skill set. So I knew eventually I had to get this done. I really didn't mind at first because we had another vehicle to drive. So if something was wrong, or I drove her car, rode around, something fell off, I could park it, leave it till I figured out she could just drive something else, and there was no harm, no foul. But now that we don't have anything else to drive, I have to make sure that her car is running in immaculate condition. And this is why I spent $4,200 just to get that fixed. Because in those foreign cars, BMW, Mercedes, a lot of the other cars, Nissan's probably the same as well. But anytime something is wrong with your car, it'll show you on that screen first. That monitor will say it'll an error warning, or it'll give you some type of message. Now, if it were my vehicle, I would be riding around. I would have no radio. I would have no backup camera, nothing, because I'm not paying $4,200 to drive my vehicle around if it mechanically works well. But hey, I love her. But I'm gonna talk. Make sure she's not outside the door. I'm gonna talk about my wife real quick right here. Hey, I love her to death, but she will drive a car. It'll make a noise. A light will come on and cut off, and she won't think anything of it. I won't find out as an issue until for some odd reason I may drive her car somewhere, and I'm like, man, your brakes squealing, or have your steering wheel always been pulling to the left? She'll drive a car if there's no direct message on the screen that says, do not drive, this car may blow up. She'll just drive it, and then randomly, like 2 weeks later, she'll be like, oh, some light did come on, but I can't remember really what it was. But you should check it out. And I'll be like, okay, and I'll hear nothing else of it. So, in an abundance of caution to make sure that her vehicle is in tip-top condition and doesn't blow up, we had to spend $4,200 to replace that in-screen monitor and do all of that electrical work. Now, I hate the BMW dealership. I lie to you not, every time I carry her car there to fix A, immediately B is broken. I took it there to fix that monitor and the electronics. They fixed it. I leave the lot. The air conditioner doesn't even cut on. I'm like, what the hell? I called them. I go back. They're just like, oh, a fuse blew out. Yeah, a fuse blew out because y'all blew the fuse when y'all was fucking with the damn electronics. So they replaced the fuse, got it working. They are just ridiculous. That's why I do my own mechanical maintenance, or if it's above my pay grade, I get my mechanic to square it away. But because this was electronic, I was kind of at their mercy. They originally built me like, oh, it needs $8,000 worth of work done. I was like, $8,000? Well, I'm going to pay $8,000 worth of work to get a BMW fixed that's probably worth $6,500, $7,500. No, get out of here. That's stupid. Fix what I told you to fix. Give me the list of everything else that needs repairing, and I'll take care of it on my own. And I lie to you now, the things that need repairing were so simple. It was like a rubber seal that goes around the oil filter housing. They were like $500 to replace. Man, I think I look like this, but I'm that stupid. So that was expense number one. We did have to spend $4,200 to get that vehicle, the electronic system squared away, but it's all good. Everything is running fine now. The other thing that we have going on is big this month is we're preparing to sell our rental property. Now, let me talk a little bit about rental properties because, and I don't think I ever disclosed this before, but I have two properties. One that I own outright. The other one, the one that we're selling, we do have a mortgage on. We're all familiar, and I tell stories and videos about my first rental property. I've never talked about that second rental that's paid off, and the reason that I don't talk about it is because right now it's not income producing. My father stays in that property. And so, hey, again, I'm blessed to be in the position that he has a place that's paid for and he don't have to worry about. But that's just kind of what it is. So on to the property that we're selling. We're selling that property because the HOA sucks. I mean, they're retarded. One day I'm gonna just put a Photoshop, a snapshot, a screenshot of one of their emails that they send back and forth. I mean, thank God I don't stay down there because they would get on my last damn nerves. But the HOA is stupid. I'm tired of dealing with them. I want a single family home, no HOA, not attached to nothing. And so we're selling that property, right? So we have to prepare to sell it. Now that leads me to my next point is we won't get any rental proceeds from this month. Our tenant is set to move out at the end of the month. They actually have paid in advance, but we aren't going to get the rent. We normally get $1,100 a month in rent, about $990 after we pay the 10% to the property management company. But we won't get that because I told the management company, hold on to all the rental proceeds. So if the property is on the market long, which I seriously doubt, you all can take care of the lawn maintenance. If there's any painting or anything that needs to be done, the cleaning crew got to come in, you all can take care of that. So that kind of is going to change our budget dramatically, but I'm thinking we'll still be able to make our regularly scheduled $3,600 payment towards the student loans, but that's going to be something that we have to evaluate going forward. So we won't get any rental proceeds for this month because I just told them hold it because I'm preparing for any expenses that's going to come up when we're selling this property. Now, in this housing market, you may honestly not have to do any repairs. I may not have to replace or clean any carpets or paint because people are, I mean, between, and I'm sure all of you are aware why houses are so expensive, but it's really three things. One is a lumber shortage, so to actually build new homes is super expensive because lumber prices have almost doubled or in some instances tripled depending on where you're at. So new home building has come to a screeching halt. It's just now getting started, but lumber is mad expensive. So everybody is scrambling to buy homes that people already have that they're selling. That's one. Two is you have an influx of foreign corporate interests coming to essentially become landlords. And also corporate interests in the United States. I mean, when everyone invests in these REITs, like, oh, I'm investing in this REIT, and essentially a REIT is an investment fund where you put money in, and instead of investing in stocks, they invest in either commercial or residential real estate. And because of the federal tax laws, no, because of federal law, there's so much money passing through with rentals from collecting rents. REITs have to pay like 90% of their profits in dividends. So if you invest in a REIT, you get a big dividend back. Well, the problem with REITs is that Dan and Susie would like to go out and buy a home, but unfortunately they can't buy a home because a big corporate interest or a company that has a REIT set up went out and purchased all of these homes in this one particular neighborhood, and now they've effectively become landlords, and it kind of pushed out the people who want to buy houses for residential purposes. I mean, it is what it is. I drove past a place and it was like, oh, new homes built. Then when I drove past 2 weeks later, it was like homes all sold out. I looked it up. I was like, man, they sold all them homes already? And no, it wasn't people trying to get residential homes. It was actually a corporate interest who came, who has one of these REITs, and they purchased all of those properties that are going to be built, and they're just going to be a bunch of people landlords. So that's number two. And then number three is, like I said, you have foreign interests who come in and they invest their money in real estate. Remember, foreign interests, these REITs, they can afford to pay way over the asking price for these homes, and they're buying with cash, so it's pushing out people who got 20% down and who got a loan, and they may not can go 20% over the asking price. Those are just three of the main reasons, but there's a whole bunch of reasons why property is booming. But on a good note, because property is booming, we may not have to do any type of real essential repairs like paint or replace the carpet because, you know, people just are pressed to get into homes. We took a look at a comparable home in the same neighborhood, the last one that sold, and it sold for about 17% more than the asking price. and that was maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So I think we're in really good shape, and we should have a really good deal that I'll talk about later on as I go through the process. I'll probably make videos just kind of talking about the process and how everything play out. But that's kind of where we are with the rental property. And the other thing is, it's funny when you talk about rental properties because realtors don't like working with me. And even when I'm buying, when I'm selling, when I'm buying, it's probably really bad. Hey, Lord bless you if you're watching this. We love you, my favorite realtor who sold us this lovely home that we're in. But real estate agents don't like working with me because when I'm buying, I'm essentially like, you just give me the keys. I'll tell you the offers to submit because I'll essentially lead the negotiations talking through you. All you got to do is show me the places, let me do the talking. And I think it worked out well. I mean, even when I purchased this residence we in now, the realtor was like, I don't know if they're going to go for that. And part of it is arrogance, I know. But I figure, I'm an attorney. I've been negotiating deals for over a decade. I've been negotiating deals in criminal court. I've been negotiating civil settlements with pharmaceutical companies worth hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. I think I can handle negotiation of a home. It's kind of arrogant, but that's just how I feel. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. And even on the selling aspect, they gave me a price like, oh, we could list it at this. I was like, nah, I'm not listening to what you. I did my own independent research. I did my own open source research. This is what we're going to start the listing at, and then we'll just see how it goes. So either we're going to get a good deal or nobody going to buy it because I'm just an asshole. One of the two. I think the final thing that kind of is going on this month is next month is just going to be crazy because I'm really going to have to redo the budget. We're not going to have rental income coming in once we sell this property, but we also aren't going to have a mortgage payment to make. So just from a net worth standpoint, once this home is sold, we should see a substantial increase in our net worth. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else going on this month. It's a busy month. I've been busy. I am going to pick back up the wifey and I with the Sunday videos. Try to do something fun where we talk about finance, but there's some crazy stuff that's going on as well. As always, I appreciate you all tuning in. Right now, I want you to check out these two videos that's popping up. One should be a playlist where you can follow my debt-free journey. In the other video, check it out because I think you'll like it. And hit this in the middle right here. Yeah, this thing right here so you can subscribe to the channel. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Peace.